All right, so now
It's running already, but
we can cut the beginning.
So whatever we need to do.
So yeah, this is just a conversation.
See wherever it goes.
And yeah, no pressure.
Some more
Wait,
wood.
what's that sound?
I'm gonna turn it off.
Oh, okay.
Just for starting the fire, I
Cool.
feel like it brings the smoke out
That makes
more
sense.
easily.
That makes sense. All right, so let's see. Do we feel like we're in a good?
Yeah, I want to stay like this direction, sort of.
Yeah, so that we can talk and then.
Still quiet day.
Hmm?
I said a still quiet day. The fire in the background.
Yeah, it's really nice.
About time you came down here.
I'm so glad to be here. This is awesome to be here in your spot and.
Yeah, definitely. It feels a little bit different, like in a conversation with mics on, for sure.
Absolutely.
I've
never done anything like this before.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it feels exciting. It's cool to be able to just like record a conversation about what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, can I start with just trying to like say what we're talking about? Try and give like a rough
Absolutely.
overview?
Yeah. Talk.
And welcome to Sitting with Arvin and
Standing with Colin.
Yeah, and we're doing a first ever podcast. Kind of free roaming, but sort of about, it extends to a lot of different things, but sort of about this goal, for me at least, this goal of reaching $1 million in 5 years and why I'm doing that and how can I do that?
Right. I mean, this goal that you have and that what you've been sharing on YouTube has been really inspiring for me, and essentially has made me want to participate. Like I want to do it too. Do the $1 million in 5 years goal, and yeah. So it's like it's helped me start my own YouTube channel and just share similar to how you've been sharing on your channel, and it's yeah, it feels really fun, and it feels like doing it together really starts to like bring out the meaning and the deeper reason for it, rather than just like making $1 million as a goal. Yeah, it's not like the whole point, but doing it together really starts to open it up into why it's actually inspiring and why it's actually meaningful.
Yeah.
So I guess like I just wanted to ask you, like, how'd the idea start? Like where did it come from? What's the background? Because you've had your YouTube channel for a lot longer than how you've been doing this.
Yeah, thanks for asking. I love making videos like my whole life. So even when I was young, I'd make videos of like home videos, and maybe like a few years ago I made a video that was like kind of on my heart that had to do with like choking.
Yeah.
And in a lot of high pressure situations in life, I find myself doing that, where I feel, at least subjectively, like I have a lot of potential. And this was like especially clear in like my sports life, where I'd freeze, and that is humiliating. It's frustrating to feel like, and I'm the only one who can really say that for myself, but like feel like I can do a lot, and then coming up to a time where it matters and just freezing. And so that's how the channel started for me. And then it turned into mostly like vlogs of like updates on my life. And
I've been loving that. I've been watching you pretty close to when you started it, and I've always really appreciated your vlogs and just talking about your life and the vulnerability and like realness that you share on it. And that's actually like, that's kind of what I've been wanting to do on my new channel as well. And so I've been watching you for years, and I guess just to share, I've loved watching your videos, and so I've noticed that every time you post, I feel excited. Like I enjoy watching you, and since we have like a real life relationship, it's like it feels so much more fun to be experiencing content or art or anything from your own real life friends rather than just like consuming the content on the internet. So I've been for years watching your videos and really appreciating them, and that was a big motivation for starting my own channel, as I wanted to share that with the people in my life of like, oh, realizing how much I've enjoyed watching your videos, I know that the people in my life will enjoy watching my own vlogs as well. Yeah. And so it's just been awesome watching you for these past years.
Yeah, how is it like, and then this is like a question coming from like a feeling of my own, and I'm curious if there's like anything synonymous there, but how has or hasn't, I guess, like doing this every week, like you've made an intention to do like 100 videos, helped you? That's kind of a broad question.
I'm only at week 5 so far, so I'm only 5 videos in, but I mean, it's already been very impactful. Like talking to a camera and then putting out into the public is it's difficult and vulnerable, and I never actually really expected to do it, but I've found that it's been really helpful. It's helping me express myself. It's helping me share what's going on in my life, and it feels like really good practice to just like put yourself out there, put myself out there, and I've really had to like let go of perfectionism and let go of like worrying about if it's good or not. Because it's like if I've committed to making a video every week, not a single week have I ever felt like, I feel like this is so good. Every week it's like, it's the best I got. And that's like putting the best I've got out into the world is like, it's forced me to like let go of worrying about whether it's good or not. It's just like getting something is better than nothing. And I feel like that's beginning to go into my whole life. I feel like more freedom and more openness to being able to share my entire life, whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm trying to create, whatever I'm working on, just share that without worrying about whether it's like good or not, or like whether I consider it worth sharing.
Yeah. Have you heard of, because what you're saying sounds similar to this, like, have you heard of Rick Rubin?
Yeah, I have.
Have you read his book?
I haven't read it,
Creative
but
Act?
I've heard some of his, like, him on podcasts and stuff like that, but no, like...
Yeah, because what you're saying kind of sounds similar to what I heard him say in his book and on his, like, podcasts. But it's like the creative act, and this can be, like, broad, can go to anything. But a lot of times, me personally, put a lot of pressure on myself to wanting to make something, like, so perfect. And that was the same thing why I feel like I choked in sports. Like, I had such high expectations, like, I better hit these marks.
Yes.
And then I just hate myself when I don't do it. But those high standards kind of stifle, like, the creativity. And he like, says it in a certain way where, like, each thing is just practice. Yes. And to try and view it as such. Like, each time I make a video, this isn't going to be the video. Right. The video never will exist. Right. And it's like, it's practice. And I mean, still, I feel like, anxiety right now, just trying to make a first podcast. But it's just practice.
Right, me too.
Maybe it doesn't turn out good. Maybe it does. But then it's practice, and you do it again. The next one.
Well, one thing I've always loved about your videos and has been inspired into making my own is that it's not about making it good. It's not about making it polished or perfect. It's just real.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
And like the realness of it is like, all right, I'm going to do that too. And it's not comfortable, but
Yeah.
it's a really good practice. And then putting it out into the public is like takes that edge, and it really like makes it it's a real edge, and it's like a real place of it's not comfortable. But I've noticed that all of us, like I've noticed my whole life, I feel like I care about what it looks like or what it presents like, or I care about the perfection of the presentation less, even just after these couple months of making videos.
Yeah. And the weird, like, what's it called? Paradoxical thing about it is like, as I care less, and I still need to like get rid of that facade of trying to present myself and be seen in a certain way, but like, as I feel like as I give up on that, things get better in so many areas of life. And if I could go back, I keep talking about the sports analogy because that was
great.
heavy for me. But like, if I could go back, if I wouldn't necessarily care that much and just be grateful for my attempts, I think that would help the whole thing. And I'm wondering about, and again, a lot of the questions are like asked as like my own experience to see if, you know, how that lands in you too. So, but for me, it's helped with accountability because I want to progress myself. And then every week it's like, all right, I got to try and make a video that says something. So it also helps me to want to do something. And I guess I don't want to necessarily make it sound like I'm doing things to have them to present, but there is a part of that helps.
It motivates you. I've already noticed like, if you, as long as you're like, it's still being intrinsically motivated, like you're not forcing yourself to do things that you don't want to do just because it'll make good YouTube content, but you're like, it really is, it's an accountability thing. It's like, okay, I want to keep learning stuff, keep growing whatever I'm working on, and I really agree that.
What is, I don't know if I've asked you this question yet, so it's just kind of a fun question, and it's hard to project because I know also we've talked about kind of just trying to like let go in a way to like see where things go, but like what could you imagine in this 5 years your life to, that might be too broad of a question, but yeah, see where it goes. Like what could the next 5 years potentially look like? I know like since before you've started the channel too, but you know, you're doing firefighting, you've been doing like landscaping, you want to create a community for the space that you live in Colorado. And in a best case scenario, just a fun question, I guess, what would that look like in 5 years? What is it?
I'm okay, thank you. Well, I know that like I want to learn new things. I want to become more creative. I want to develop crafts, creating things that are physical and then just like, I feel like a big motivation for me for doing this, making $1 million in 5 years, is to support my community. Like so many people that I know in like the rural area that I live in Colorado, it's just like financially difficult, and there's not that many good jobs, and costs of living are expensive, and it's like hard for most people, especially young people like around our age. And I want to help solve that problem. I want to like start moving in a direction where there's more opportunity, there's more creativity, there's more energy and vitality and opportunity. I want the next generation of like the kids growing up in my area to feel like they have opportunity and excitement to like keep cultivating where they're at, and not feel like they have to like go to the city and find a job and leave. Like they can if they want to, but like in the current place, it's like it's hard to stay where we're at because there's just not a lot of opportunity. And I want to see that be different. And I want to like, it's like a Renaissance vibe. Like I want to do my part in order to help bring new community, new life, new creativity to my little area, my little village, my community, and by like with YouTube and stuff, it allows like to share the journey of that.
Yeah, and how does that feel? Like that's an awesome goal. That's big and could maybe be intimidating. I don't know. I'm speaking from my own perspective,
Right.
But like, how do you see that as like, if you're setting a mark that's really high, to be not to be judging, but to
in a certain way,
at the ground level and
this mark that's so high is the tangible goal that you introduced me to. It's like I actually don't really want $1 million for myself. Like I don't really. If I have enough money to live just comfortable living expenses, making more money than that isn't a goal that like really draws me. But by like doing in this goal to make money, it's gonna force me to learn new things. It's gonna force me to be creative. I don't know if force is the right word. It's like it's a good goal to encourage it, just like what you've talked about. And so just the 5 years and $1 million, like that's a goal that I'm pointing in towards supporting the community. And so in a certain way, like it could be so like helping create a community that's like full of creativity and energy and vitality and opportunity. Like that's a really high goal, but in a certain way, it's no different than making $1 million in 5 years.
Yeah. And that's that's an awesome goal too.
And so, I wanted to like talk about that because, in a certain way, like that goal that you've created, like how did it start? You said like with making this YouTube channel and like working through this like choking in the past.
Yeah.
Like where did this like goal, which is really cool, it's really clear, it's fun watching your progress, even though like, but it's a slow, long journey. Like it's a cool journey, and the fact that like to be just documenting it every step of the way, and it makes for good like guide for you. It like makes for YouTube, like it just gives a good structure for like the whole life. So like where did, and then that was ultimately getting into like it's a big inspiration of why I wanted to start a channel too, to participate. It's like I don't want to be like participating in the goal, but then just watching your channels. It's like no, I want to be out in it, like week to week, trying to like grow and progress towards the goal too. So where did it start for you, and where did the idea come from?
Thank you for the question. Yeah, and there's a lot to that I would love to share.
Let's open it up.
I guess to try and fine tune your answer and understand it properly, and also like my motivation behind, I guess, that question to you too before I jump into answering that, and see if I can articulate it. Words aren't always my strength, but
same.
Is like I was curious about with this goal and seeing how you feel about it. Part of that question was like my past experience of feeling a lot of fear in pursuing goals, and in a weird sort of way, even like shame, like almost embarrassed, which sounds weird to say, that I have really big goals when I have nothing to show for it, and to be explicit about that. Like I said, I wanted to go to the Olympics, and I was embarrassed to tell people that. I was never close. But I was embarrassed to tell people because I wasn't. And so I wanted to like meet those standards. And in a similar way, in me asking you that question, I guess, I don't know. It's my own feeling I have in myself, and seeing if I'm questioning the way that I'm questioning. Is that like, in a way, like a selfish question? Like, as you're going through this, pursuing this goal, right, of like growing your community and being able to help people, being able to help build a system that allows for them to not have to move to the city, to create more communal network. Like that's a big goal, and I often feel anxiety towards that, and I'm wondering if that lives in you and how you if that does, maybe it doesn't, but
Definitely. I mean, I've always like had big vision and big dreams and I don't know if big goals, but like big like expansive things that I'm looking for, and it's been like a long process of just grounding that down and like figuring out how to move step by step in like slow, grounded, intentional human ways towards a goal. And so
yeah,
like am I like, for instance, like just like to tie into your question, I don't actually know if I can make $1 million in 5 years. Like I feel like I have, like I don't want to sell myself. I don't want to like sell out in certain ways. I don't want to do anything that I don't want to do things that I don't really want to do. I'm not gonna like. The goal is like making $1 million in 5 years, but the goal is not to make money however I can make money.
Yeah.
And so I don't actually know if like any of it will work. And there's certain like
Yeah.
I don't know if I can do my part in helping bring more like life into like a local rural community that I'm in. But it's like it almost doesn't matter. It's like just making the journey
Yeah.
feels like life will continue to steer us in the direction.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes.
And there would be no shame in failing. If we get 5 years and we haven't made $1 million, part of me is like I do believe we can do it. But the other side is like, it doesn't matter. It'll be an awesome journey, and like we'll learn so many things and we'll grow in so many ways. Like, and life will be very different no matter how it turns out.
Yeah.
And like this idea of having to like failing a goal, especially if it's like public,
We're gonna be broke in 5 years. Like
that's a vulnerable thing. But like it's just like putting yourself out there, and it's like it's like in the arena. It's like if we're not really in control of how it plays out.
Yeah.
And it's like you're exposing yourself to not presenting the image that we would like to present.
Yeah. As I move through this goal, like personally, just after what you said, I'm thinking like potentially adjusting too, because my goal is like $1 million, and right now the most probable means is through like the work I'm doing, like learning. I'm doing construction.
Yeah.
And then learning to like sell so I can get money on sales, but also seeing like it, not just $1 million, but like the intention behind it and how you do get it, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
you're saying very clearly, like the $1 million goal is
like I don't want to sell like 10 million units of like cheap Chinese plastic in order to make $1 million.
Yeah.
like that's lame. That's like that doesn't pull like making money in a way that doesn't feel good doesn't have a pull for me.
Yeah.
But like you're so good at the construction stuff and you have such a background in it, and it's so valuable. Like a big goal for me, and like a big mini goal I have in all of this, is just to like learn more tangible, hands-on, embodied skills, because I don't have very much of that, and I think it's really valuable, especially in like local community.
Definitely. Yeah, I want to answer that question more specifically that you asked a little bit about what got me into this goal,
Yeah.
but also like I do feel a movement. When I was living in the Netherlands, it was like very clear and everyone talked about it, but everyone's going to get these particular prestigious degrees, and it's like the plumber and the electrician that are really making bank now, because they're like,
Right.
they're not paying, I don't know, they're undermined. And I feel that with
Right.
like construction and building, there's like this big, maybe bubble, right? Like
Yeah.
that is so tech oriented. I'm pretty naive in this space, but
Yes.
I feel like it's
so
more
much
people,
so much of our economy, so much of the jobs people do are abstract, are not really create anything. So I used to work in IT, and I did IT consulting, and just as an example, like so much of what I ended up consulting for, or even the work that I did, would end up just being like kind of meaningless. Like I remember there was one project I was on, and it was a 11-month project. of like, it was doing database work, and at the end of it, it ended because they decided, oh, we're not going to do this anymore. And it just was canceled. And it was just like all the work for those 11 months, nothing, meaningless. It might as well have never happened. Like, I was paid a salary. So, but like the level of meaninglessness that I experienced in that, I was like, I can't do this for my life. Like, this is so unreal. And so much of our American world is like that, like things, these abstract financial things, abstract tech things. And I'm grateful for all that we have, but it is become so distant from like actually physical things that can feel meaningful and that can feel real.
Because ultimately, again, it's not just about the money. You got paid the same whether that 11-month project went on or not. But then to be like in the middle of it and just cut, it's like all of this work for nothing. This is what it feels like. You're still getting paid, but what you're doing and why you're doing it will give way more motivation and intention and like beauty behind what you do rather than like just showing up every day.
You could just like walk on a treadmill for all that time, and it would have been, and like get paid, if they would have paid me to walk on a treadmill, they paid me to just run on the hamster wheel. It would have been the same exact thing.
Yeah. That's the hamster wheel for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, like to bring back to like where this like the idea kind of originated from.
Yeah, so it's a big question. So I guess I was kind of like.
Yeah, there's a lot of directions to it.
I think I talked about this on one of my personal videos I posted, but like I've had a hard time, especially after sports. There's a time in my life where I became more or less linearly focused, and that was like trauma driven, I would say. Where I was like, all right, the only thing I have is school and sports. That's the only thing that matters. All the other things I didn't get appreciation or love or anything for. So I gave that up and went into that direction, and specifically sports. And when I dropped my engineering degree and tried to pursue sports to go to the Olympics, and that didn't work. And I didn't have any other plans. And people would have told me too, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And I am an eggs in one basket type of person.
Right, yeah, me too.
So that was heartbreaking. And I mean, I struggle with bad emotion swings sometimes. And so I was getting depressed and feeling like what I was doing was meaningless. And often feeling like, what's the point of continuing to go on to like pursue these things that don't seem meaningful just to keep the whole my personal self going for what, but also like plug into a system to help build a world that I'm not passionate about. And and I feel that when I talk to a lot of other people too, this passion to continue living life isn't quite there. But in the midst of that, I have nieces and nephews, and I just remembered it was like I think it was March or something of this year. I was in one of those emotional states, and I was like crying and feeling sorry for myself and wondering what's the point. And I don't know, it was like, in a way it was still a trauma response, in that I feel like I had to narrow my perception, like feeling all of these things was like too much. And so I made a deliberate choice to keep living. And if I'm going to live, there's a lot that I want from this life. And if I can't get it, then it will have to be found in the pursuit. But I can't, being linearly focused is helpful for, I think, for my mental health at many times.
Right.
Because it helps me to focus in.
Right.
I don't know if that's necessarily the healthiest thing, but that's how I am right now. And
sort of like step by step, day by day type of thing, right?
Like each day and like step by step, day by day, it's like it's a specific goal or something to move forwards to.
Right.
Instead of, if I don't have that, there's too many questions that pour in, and then I get existential.
I hear you.
So,
I hear you.
Yeah. And I wrote my brother a letter making that promise to keep myself accountable to myself and to him too. It felt good to have that relationship to be able to do that. But it's like, I'm going to live as long as I can. And if I do that, I will find work that I find, I don't remember the specifics of the letter, I don't have it, but I'll find like work. I will live a life doing the things that I love and be able to support myself doing that.
Yes.
And I don't know, I feel like part of my message was lost in saying it.
Well, like one thing that I remember from your old videos, this was actually like one of the first times I was just like so fired up over your YouTube channel, was like back in the day talking about how like you want to be like a professional hobbyist. Like, wouldn't it be so cool to literally get paid to just learn and develop all sorts of skills?
Yeah, and in some reality that does exist, because we have a world with so many skilled, passionate people, and a lot of that passion is being like lost at these seemingly soul-crushing jobs. It's not black and white, but
right.
I feel like there could be a world where that exists, where I do the things that I love, which for me, and maybe it's slightly nuanced, I don't think I can just woodwork in that, and I don't think, I don't know, but maybe not every person can do just what they love and the world functions beautifully. But like, I'm sure there's people who would love to farm. There's people who love creating, which I do. So maybe it's not completely that, but finding like a middle ground where I can do the things that I love and everyone else can do that too.
Right.
And right now, it's like
like in the heart, it makes so much sense that should be real. Like it shouldn't be where you have to like work so many hours of doing something that feels soul crushing in order to live in the world. Like that just feels like, it doesn't make sense to the heart.
No.
It doesn't like, it feels like there's like gotta be a better way. And I didn't want to interrupt. No, go.
Yeah, in that, I was just thinking of this just now because it's something I've been thinking of for a while, but when you said that, like, the soul crushingness of it sometimes is partly because I'm looking towards the end goal, and I think that was part of the problem where when I was like pursuing sports, it's like I always hated myself because I was never there.
Right.
I was never good enough to be a pro athlete and get paid.
Right.
But in finding joy in the pursuit, which there's a slight shift for me going in that direction where like I'm still poor. If you watch my videos, I think I'm probably down to zero between like my money in and my credit card. And I decided to take a few weeks off of work and I'm like safe, like really, but I'm not anywhere near my goal, but I'm finding joy in the process. Like this can be exciting. Like how am I gonna move to navigate this to make a comeback?
Right.
And that in itself is exciting instead of like this attitude that I lived with for so long. Like I'm not even close. I suck.
It's absolutely. I think just having a goal that like feels meaningful. Like I know for me, like when I was working in IT consulting, a big reason I got into it was I don't know what else to do. Like there was nothing that was pulling me in a direction of like, this is what I want. So it's just like, well, I'll do what makes sense. And what made sense sucked my soul away and sent me off on like, and I had to leave that eventually.
I'm gonna put some wood on the fire.
Perfect. And so, like what you're saying with the journey of it, just having a goal that feels like fun and generates an energy to like carry out step by step. Like for me, like I have zero income right now. I have enough savings to make it through the winter, but like I'm going all in with this like idea, and I've got some various ideas that I'm considering, but I want to get up to where my income is stable from what comes in and out. And like, that's such a simple step compared to making $1 million. But since it's within a broader frame of making money to support supporting a larger community, just these small steps is just as meaningful if I had a whole bunch of money and was doing a whole bunch more stuff. Like it's all the same stream. And if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think that, let me try and reiterate. Can you read
Well,
it?
and just like, and also, for example, like I love like your art and your woodwork and your craft and like that what you're building, I think is so cool. Like, and I don't really have any of those like tangible skills or like ways to like really creatively express myself much, but like part of this journey is like exploring that and opening up to that and just like being so open to, I don't know what I'm good at, I don't know what I like, I don't know where I'm going with this, I don't know how I'm going to make money, but I want to gain more skills, I want to learn new things, I want to start creating things that I can take over to a farmer's market and just show like, here's what I've done.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed doing it, and like currently I can't do that. So like I can't, there's not even anything that I really am making, but like I want to explore to find that, and not even really because I want to sell it, but the process of growing something feels fun and feels exciting and feels energizing and makes the journey of life feel way more meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Like I want to live like I want to have lots of skills. I want to learn lots of things. I want to, live like a full life. Like what you said, like I want a lot out of life. I want to just live so alive.
Yeah.
And creating things, building things, expressing myself, like all those things are a part of that. And I feel like I've just begun. Maybe like just this year, or in the last couple months even. It's like I've only just started, and so whether I'm right here at the ground level or whether in 5 years maybe we're successful, it's like it can all be the same thing. It's just different steps of the journey.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's how we can find oh man, yeah. I fully agree. I'm just thinking of how to like respond to it. And that, I guess maybe I'm repeating myself a little, but that joy you find in pursuing it, like of these goals, that is where I think, the joy will come from. Like whether I make $1 million or not, if I'm able to find joy in the pursuit of something greater.
Right.
And I think that's where other people, this world in general, I feel like a lot of people in my generation, maybe younger, don't find that meaning and purpose. And whether you are able to receive those goals or reach those goals, like having a noble goal to shoot at and to fight for. So like you kind of said it now, but also earlier, like working to make a better space for the next generation.
Yeah.
Like whether I get to see that or not,
right.
It's the pursuit and fight for that where the real.
Yes, like I would love to like help create things that my like little childhood self would look up and be like I want to be the person. Okay, so when I was a kid, I didn't really know what I wanted to be. Like I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know what it really interested me that much. And so I want to like be the person that like my little childhood self would look up to and be like, I want to be that when I grow up. And it's like I don't have like kids of my own, but I have friends who have kids, and that feels like so meaningful to me. Of like, they're so awesome, and also my sisters just had a baby, and like, like really creating an environment and creating opportunity and like creating the creative environment for the next generation to like really be able to like thrive and expand and create and like take what we're thinking and take it to a whole new level, even if that's not something like we experience directly. And I feel like our world has really lost that sort of thinking of doing things like planting the tree that you'll never be able to have the fruit of or sit under the shade of.
Can I try and pick your brain about how that might look like in specifics? Because it's a very broad question, and I feel like in this process and project sort of that we're embarking on, it's like it is a process of figuring out, right? Like I don't know yet, but what could this, and maybe this is like too difficult to answer, but like in specific ways, what could this look like for a generation, for my nieces and nephews, for the nephew you now have, like what could be a world that they could be stepping into? Man, I feel like this question is getting like almost like so far out there, but what could that look like? Like how, or maybe how could it look differently for your life as a child?
Well,
Is
like,
that answerable?
I have no idea, but
Could I try and clarify that more, maybe?
yeah, whatever. I'm also considering, well, like just like even bringing it back, like first thing would be just this way that our world is like so commonly of like this pressure to find a job and like work these careers and plug into this system that doesn't feed our souls. It's like, what if there was an alternative to that that like was real and grounded and like something that encouraged kids to discover what they like, and like, and also, and to give the space for like, I don't know what I like, I want to be a professional hobbyist and learn all sorts of things, and like just like decoupling this financial reality from, and I have no idea what that looks like, but I feel like people actually choosing to live in this like in a little bit of a different way and to like reprioritize, like to try to bring more integration and more wholeness to the life of, rather of like how you make your money, how you survive, how you pay your bills is just way more integrated into like the longings of your soul. And
how to bring like more passion, how to allow passion for like yourself, or if we're speaking to this little baby generation of how to allow for their passion,
yeah, and like I think, yeah,
to continue instead of sometimes seemingly being,
and just like be like an example, like being awesome examples to the kids in our lives, whether the nieces and nephews and friend, like the kid, like, and I think by like us choosing to embark on these goals without, and to share it and to document the journey and to just like be real in it as much as we can.
yeah,
it's like, this is where like the big vision and the long-term perspective,
yeah,
with the like very tangible grounded thing, like that can feel so distant, but it doesn't have to be. Like it's just like one little small step at a time. It's like us having this conversation and sharing it out into the world.
yeah, yeah. That could be it.
Is like that's
Yeah.
we're taking a step today, and like
Yeah.
you're working on building your own company by doing something that you love, that is meaningful to you, that has history, that literally connects to your child self, that taps into your creativity. It's like, and you're just having to like make the small steps day by day by day, and you're documenting like every week, and it's like, where is it gonna go? It's like, I think part of that is like, we don't know, and it's like letting go of that.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, my mind kind of jumps to like wanting to get into specifics, like,
right.
but in a way, you need to have some specifics, some plan, but it is also like a process in the making. So yeah, you're right. Like making this video, making an intention to try and bring more clarity to what this is it.
Yeah.
And yeah, going to the drawing board is part of it too, to try and think in like very tangible sort of ways what that looks like.
And I think like you're doing, like the fact that you're making video every week of like what your journey towards the $1 million in 5 years, week by week updates, like that is showing this like
What would
tangible step.
change for you? This question just jumped into my head. What would change for you if like, because sometimes I want to give a backdrop to like where this question is coming from. I think about like random scenarios. I can be an overthinker, but like I imagine like what if someone just gave me $1 million,
Right.
or even having like this fear or anxiety as I'm like dating someone who comes from a background of money and feeling like if I just had it, like what would I do? Like if I like, let's say I married into wealth or someone gave me some money, it's like, because this goal of $1 million is something bigger than that.
Yes.
So I'm feeling that question, but I'm wondering for you, what if I was like, yo, here's $1 million? Like what could
let
your
me
life
answer
look
that in a way like that I've actually experienced. So I ended up leaving my IT consulting job because I made a lot of money with crypto. And there were times where my like crypto wealth was over $1 million. So I've like experienced what it feels like to, first off, to like the initial investment to just spike up to that level. And on the other side, I've also lost a lot, which leaves me in my current position of I have no income and not sure how it's all going to play out. But as I've been reflecting on this journey, even in the times where I've had $1 million worth of crypto numbers, it was never all that real. And a big reason is because like it was never like deployed into the world. It was never $1 million of something like tangible that showed up in the world that was helping people and supporting people and doing work. It was just like abstract. And I tried investing in things, and I invested in all sorts of things to try to make that, to try to use that money to do good, and nothing ever really landed with that. And so it was like, even if I had this abstract $1 million, it was never all that real, because it was never grounded into the world as creating anything real or supporting that which could really take root. So for instance, a good example is like if I would have had a bunch of money and you're working on your business, your rattle business and your wooden toys, like me giving you a whole bunch of money and investment in your company wouldn't help you right now. Like what would you, like you could take it like a little, but like if I gave you $1 million to grow your company, that wouldn't help you. That wouldn't, because you're literally making every single one by hand and having a little bit more. Maybe you could upgrade some tools and do little things here and there, but beyond that, it wouldn't actually help you, like just giving a whole bunch of money. But let's say years from now, as you've grown it, if you have employees, and people like working under like a unified vision together, all of a sudden that's like real and grounded in the world in a way that just, if you're to get money or just having abstract money, or like where it's like it's different.
Yeah, I'm feeling, as you're saying that, kind of like, to summarize in like a few words, but like building the roots to be able to like use that money.
And in ways that truly help create a more beautiful, more meaningful world that like that we long for.
I'm just curious, and I'm pretty sure, because we've talked about this before, but if you're open to sharing, in what ways have you tried to use that money to like help others or help?
Well, I've like invested in businesses of friends that I really believe in.
Yeah.
And like I said, it ends up.
Do you know specifics of how that didn't help?
Yeah, like I would say it, like let's say a small business gets like gets a big influx of money, and it creates an initial influx of energy of like, oh, we can hire another person, or oh, we can but it so easily will cause someone to like extend beyond their means. It's so
Yeah.
easily like,
Yeah.
because the business didn't make that money naturally, and we live in a world of so much like leverage and so much investment, and a lot of it's like abstract technology stuff, but like it's sort of like, yeah, you just go give somebody, like, here's like the most visceral, you go give somebody on the street $10,000 to go be able to live for a year or 6 months. They're not going to be wise with it.
Yeah.
Most in like 99% of cases. Like if you had it like with your business, if I at that point, and I had less experience, I was less mature, and if I'd be like, oh, I really believe in what you're doing, but if I just poured money into what you're doing, that probably wouldn't help you, and it might make you worse off than what you're doing right now.
I wonder if that's where like this fear that I just mentioned comes from, where like somehow if I did inherit wealth, it'd be kind of almost confusing. I don't know, like what would I do? What would drive me? But it has to be more than just about money, right?
Which is why like this goal of making money is so helpful, because of the tangibility of it and the like clarity of it. But at the same time, if you had made $1 million and if you were sitting here with $1 million, like that wouldn't satisfy you. You wouldn't feel like you've made it. You wouldn't like, it's it wouldn't.
So I want to add like an addition to this goal. It's going to stay the $1 million in 5 years goal,
it's such a good, it's grounded. Like part of the reason I like it is it forces like, it gives you like clear things. Like it forces, you have to learn new things. It's like, oh, I don't actually have the knowledge in order to do this where I'm at right now. I don't have the skills to do this where I'm at right now. I don't like it. And it forces like step by step every day to, so the grounded goal of the $1 million is so useful, but it's actually not the point. It's not the purpose is not to make the money.
Yeah.
The goal is in service of something higher.
So I'm imagining this goal, aside from money, what is a world that I would like to be able to see and promote?
Something that you'd want to live in, a world that you would want to live in, and a world that you would want to create for the future generation, that like in order for them to live in, so that they wouldn't have to go through maybe the same existential meaningless struggles that like we've gone through.
Yeah. There's a few pain points that I've had that are like specific to me that others have that I would like to be able to fix, and money could be a tool in that. One of them, there's two, but one of them that I was thinking of recently was like the housing. Housing is so expensive. So in addition to this $1 million plan, and who knows if it could be able to play into it, but like, can we create an environment where people aren't struggling so much to pay their rent? And some struggle is probably helpful. I know that at times I've received money and I didn't have a job at the time, so it basically just delayed my drive to build something for myself. Because it's like, oh, I got like 2,000 euros. I'm going to go live on this houseboat for a little while.
Right.
And that wasn't helpful. But yeah, so aside from the money goal, I would love to be able to create a business. Housing is something that's, I don't know how that would manifest exactly, but I think that it could exist in like maybe a more communal type of housing and living scenario where it could be more affordable and better and nicer.
Yeah.
So like if you took all the money that people are paying in an apartment complex,
yes,
and they would funnel their money and team up, I think, I'm not a businessy guy, but I would imagine they would be able to live in a more communal space that is way nicer.
Right.
And then less of that money is funneled towards the investors of the property.
Right.
So giving due respect to the people who do create those housing spaces for people,
right,
it's rightful that they should be rewarded, but could it be funneled differently so that these people can live more easily,
right,
and potentially live in a better, like, more communal space?
Right.
And then, so that's the housing thing.
And I'll riff on that housing thing, because it literally being here at your house actually reminded me of something. Like this spot that you're at is awesome, and it's like such a cool place, and it's like with this whole like renting dynamic, it feels like really. Just to put the problem out there, like I don't know what the answer is, but to contrast where things are currently, like you have so many skills where if you owned this house, for example, you could fix it up and build it up and upgrade it and improve it on like in so many different awesome ways to like take what's already so cool and make it even more beautiful and make it more beautiful in the neighborhood. And then you have like housemates that have different skills of whether gardening and growing things and like making all of it more alive, more vital, more beautiful. But like with the dynamic that you're in of like renting it, it's like, well, all of that potential that they could go into growing this as something cool and beautiful and communal is like falls away, because like why would everyone invest into pouring their own resources and energy into upgrading something that they have no ownership in?
Yeah, so how do we like increase that feel of ownership? Because like if this house was owned, let's say you lived here, this house was owned by you and me and the rest of the tenants that are here. One of our tenants loves gardening.
Yeah, and there's space for it. There's all of this untapped space for gardening.
Yeah.
And you could upgrade. You could build your shop. You could do all these things to make it more amazing, and it would facilitate the local community that is here.
Yeah.
But like people aren't going to pour energy into something that they're renting and have no ownership in. And so, I think even like part of like I don't know what the answer to that is, but I think as we gain wealth, we can consider this and look for ways to change that culture and that issue, and that like it's like a catch-22.
Yeah. I think that's already existing and coming to life in certain pockets. I was listening to this, it was like a random YouTube reel of someone that I haven't seen before, but he was talking about the success in his businesses. And he was saying that from his perspective, it's because he never owned 100%. He owns maybe like 40,
right,
and he lets the other people own the 60. And when
right,
you feel that ownership, you want to do more.
Right.
And I'm actually in a scenario like that at my job where for the first 5 months, when I start a new job, sometimes I have a lot of passion to want to help. At my last job, I was doing everything to try and do the most to be seen and recognized, and I wasn't. And after a while, that got kind of tiring. And it's like, What's the point?
Absolutely.
And with this new job, a similar sort of situation where I started helping this company grow quite a bit, but I don't own any of it. That growth that I have done doesn't belong to me at all. And so it feels a little bit disheartening. So if I could create a company one day where I don't know how you would be able to do it exactly like the specifics, but let the people in the company feel like they really have a say.
Yes.
And the work that they do grows the company, which comes right back to them in a way somehow.
Right.
And I think that's
and like getting some kind of ownership or something, and you have to figure it out. Like you make agreements. You you figure out what works for both parties. But yeah, I don't know, like something like, I don't know. But yeah, like where it aligns of every individual, no matter what their role is in the company or in the whatever the organizational structure is, in the collective, finding where everyone is valued and everyone can like add to the cultivation of it. If we're all like growing a garden together, like everyone has a place to make it more and more beautiful. Every individual makes it better, more amazing, and more beautiful than if they weren't there.
Yeah.
And like, how do you facilitate that, and I don't have the answer to that, but like I feel like as we keep these values and as we are like really working towards trying to build wealth and trying to grow and trying to show up in the world and like more show up in the world more and more and more, we can like look for that and try to offer that to people. And yeah, like as a kid, like I just wanted to like build cool things and create cool things and go on adventures with my friends. And like why can't we just like live like that as adults with even more resources and more potential and more capacity and more vastness?
Yeah. I want to ask a difficult question that's like on my heart as that's coming up, that I don't know if it's going to be an easy answer for, but something to explore. And I want to check the time too to see if there's like a good way to close, because we can keep riffing for a while probably, but I'm just curious what the time is, because I haven't been.
Yeah.
We're at 1 hour.
Nice.
Okay, we're at
yeah, so we can start slowly working
1 hour
towards.
and 1 minute.
We can start working towards wrapping it up.
Yeah, and the difficult question is just like, I know that personally I've had like a lot of naivety in a lot of directions in life, and growing up is just embracing that to see where these dreams and goals can come into reality. Wouldn't we all love John Lennon's World? What's that song?
Right.
I don't know.
Imagine?
Yeah, could you imagine or something? Where there's peace,
right.
you know, whatever.
Right.
But
like then when you start like living like the amount of conflict and...
Yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up. Right now, there's a situation in my life where I didn't know how to navigate it, and I wanted to do my best to bring people together. And this has happened before too, and have like harmony, but certain relationships wouldn't work. There was too much, whatever it is, rigidity, different perspectives where relationships are going to be broken and there's going to be damage done. And sometimes people don't want to participate in that for whatever reason.
Right.
Because they don't see it, or they don't align, or I don't know, but how is that? That's something to reckon with, like imagine.
It's a deep thing. I've like, there was a time like I've tried to cultivate community before, and I would say like every time I've attempted to cultivate community, the community has fallen apart. And just that like the real like, and how hard it is to like everyone, like it's a really real question of everything we're talking about. Like that's great and all, but these things like at the interpersonal level and at the like relational level ends up being so difficult. And what comes up for me is like, all right, if we really want to move in the direction that we're talking about, we have to get really, really good at navigating conflict, at maintaining centeredness and calmness in the midst of heightened, intense emotion and triggerings and dynamics. We have to be real. We have to be able to like say what's actually going on and not let things like fester. We need to
I want to continue with that open question. Were you gonna?
No, yeah,
I want to continue with that open question even as we close, because I think that's such an important question for me to consider. Is like, I would love to see everything be beautiful, and the fact is there's difficult things to reckon with that get in the way. But I wanted to add, in addition to that, like the different practices that you've done that I'm going to try and show you tomorrow, like the Systema thing. It's like how everything connects. I'm learning to be, how do I say it? I feel like I was right there and right in it and then lost it.
It's okay. But take your time.
The feeling of trying to stay centered despite being pushed around. That practice I told you about where you close your eyes and people are pushing you and you try to move.
Yeah.
And it's tough to try and keep your center, but even, I don't know how this all ties in. In my head, there's a loose connection there, but like...
Absolutely.
All these practices that we can do in different outlets that do feed back into helping develop us to be able to do that. And part of that is like, that
there's a lot of like subtle and difficult to pin down emotional and relational skills and things that we need to learn if we're actually going to move in this direction, because there's going to be conflict, there's going to be differing perspectives, there's going to be conflicting perspectives. No one sees reality the same way. And that, I think it takes like you have to be able to in order to actually even be able to see a bigger picture that can integrate conflicting perspectives, you have to be able to be calm and centered and not get caught up in the intensity of it all.
Because I'll definitely do that sometimes.
Same. And I don't, but I think these are, in a certain way, like those kind of skills are probably some of the most important things, because otherwise we can just create impersonal systems like what we have with governments and corporate America and big companies in order to try to just manage all of that and but like it keeps it all surface, and it keeps it all where nothing's ever really dealt with at these levels. And so I think that's in a certain way the hardest thing. And so you right now, as you're working through like these these conflicts in your life that tie into this, I mean, maybe that's some of the best practice and some of the best training that if we really want to move in a direction that looks different than what the world offers, I think that's the I think that's like where the real skill cultivation needs to happen.
Yeah, and I can work towards and am working on like seeing that as like a gift.
Right.
Because all those shitty things are like, it's you learn to lift it and you'll be stronger.
Yeah.
I guess also making sure you don't lift too much or it'll throw your back out. But
that too. And that's part of the balance.
Asking for help is big, and that's something that I've been able to learn because I can't lift these things on my own. So
anything that anything that I can possibly do that aligns with my own heart to help you make the $1 million, I'm gonna do.
Hell yeah.
And in my playful competition, I'm gonna beat you.
And wait, let me finish this out. Can we do a rattle transaction?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. Where'd I put that coin? Did I lose it? No, I couldn't have. We'll have to cut something because I want to find out where I put that silver coin. Oh no.
That's got to be around here somewhere. Hold on.
I might have put it in my pocket yesterday. Dang it. It's in here somewhere. Wait, what pants was I wearing yesterday? That's where it probably is.
Those, I don't remember.
There's these blue ones right here. Let's see, is it in there? I mean, we don't have to use it if I can't. Oh, it is here.
Okay, cool. So
I want to show this.
Yeah,
I want to show it to the camera too. So
right.
Just choose anyone from here, but of course I'm going to make some with the crystals. And if you want to do, I don't know if I'll have.
Let's do that one.
Let's do this one.
Yeah. And so, yeah.
All right.
So we'll cut that.
So
to like bring context,
of us helping each other.
Yeah. So I just have a brand new nephew that I'm going to be seeing here over Christmas, and I'm so excited to give him a rattle, one of Jude's rattles here from Arvin, and so he's selling them for $60.
It's about $60. I want to show it up close. It's a little rattle. It gets a sticker. It's a nice little shaker, and I also got like crystals from Colin, so that's part of us like working together.
Yeah.
So on the next rattle batch, it's gonna have real quartz in it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We can make a cut to show those too, but
yeah.
so but one part of like the cool new like something cool is that I thought of as a way to do this transaction and support each other is I just have a silver American Eagle. This is just 1 ounce of pure silver. The in today's value the raw silver is worth maybe like around $60, and the coin is worth a little bit more. So I just think it was cool to like be able to buy a rattle with silver, and I feel like that's just like cool. It's way cooler than exchanging with dollars and or digital money. So like this feels like a cool piece of like the culture of going in like just a cooler direction with the local communal cultivation. And so,
there you go.
Thank you so much. I love it, and I'm so excited to give this to my brand new nephew. It's absolutely perfect, and the timing is perfect. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
And do you want to show the? We don't have to, but do you want to show the quartz?
Yeah, we can do that. Do we want to like should we cut that in or?
Oh yeah, we can cut that in differently.
Anyway.
So,
thank you everybody.
Thank you for sitting with Arvin.
and standing with Colin. The name of my channel came purely from influence and inspiration from Arvin. So it's even the name of my channel is inspired by the person. So I wouldn't have a channel if it wasn't for Arvin, and it feels like I'm really excited. But thank you, Arvin. You have been such an inspiration in my life, and I feel so grateful that we get to grow together and create together and build together and support each other and ultimately like play together.
Thank you. This relationship means a lot to me too. Especially, I don't want to go too much more into something deep, but as I'm learning to connect and open up and find like people I can trust, which is sometimes hard for me. It's something I'm working on.
Yeah.
But I love that I have that relationship with you. So
likewise. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Till next time. That was fun. That was really fun.
Yeah. Good job.